I've seen a few of these videos on YouTube and I thought Scarborough Town Centre's not that bad. I was thinking off the top of my head, I thought Debenhams have lost that, Thornton's, yeah, we've lost that, Top Man, Top Shop, sure. But we've got lots of independent traders that are open. 2 weeks ago, I found 90 shops that were shut. Today, there's 95. Here we are, back in Scarborough, and as you'll know from our previous videos, we absolutely love the place. Scarborough attracts 10 million visitors each year that spend 610 million into the local economy, supporting 20,000 jobs. There's plenty to do in and around Scarborough, but the first thing you have to see is the town centre. We've not shown you that before. Follow me. This is the first thing you see when you come out of the train station. We've got a charity shop over the road, we've got a bookies over there, and we've got a boarded up shop. But that won't be the last one. Behind me is the old Comet store. Back in 2012, it shut its doors. It used to be the second biggest electrical retailer on the high street, but its failure to adapt to e-commerce meant that it couldn't survive the changing dynamic of the high street. This empty shop here has been shut since 2012 and it's never once opened up again. The windows just earlier this year have had these nice boards put in that tell us how nice it is to live in Scarborough. But what I want to know from you is, your Comet shop closed down. Did it turn into anything new? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to know. This is the boarded up shop I showed you from the train station across the road. It's actually a Coral Bookies. Even the bookmakers can't survive the high street in Scarborough. This massive charity shop behind me used to be a very classy menswear outlet called Anthony Gordon's. But after running it for generations in 2020, he closed the shop down and retired. But the only thing that can afford the business rates is St. Catherine's Hospice, a charity shop, because of their discounts. Charity shops can claim 80% discount on their business rates. In fact, if they're struggling with the 20%, they can get a discretional relief that allows them 100% rate relief. So that's why we're seeing more and more charity shops open on our high streets. This behind me was L'Amour nightclub, a very successful and thriving cabaret bar and entertainment venue for the youngsters to come to. But in 2020, it couldn't survive the pandemic and has sadly since shut for good. Star Sports, this, if you can call it that, is a success story of the high street because this shop was stood empty for many years and now it's just reopened as a Bookies. Good times? We're still in sight of the train station. We've got a closed shop there, a closed shop here, a closed shop here, a closed cafe here, and around the corner we've got 4 more closed shops. Follow me. So behind me we've got a closed shop here, we've got a closed shop over there, a closed shop there, and it's in good keeping because over here there's more closed shops and we're still only a 2-minute walk from the train station. Loads more to come. This massive 2-floor building behind me used to be our town's Debenhams, the hub of the town centre, but in 2021 all Debenhams, like yours, had to close and they cited rising high street costs. Now there's plans here to build a cinema, but if you understand Scarborough's checkered history with creating cinemas, you won't have any confidence in it like none of the residents will. I'd like to know what happened to your Debenhams. Have you been able to repurpose the space? Let me know in the comments below. So these are some of the casualties of our Debenhams closing. We've lost Dorothy Perkins, and we lost all these shops, including the Argos that's been stood closed for quite some time now. Well, that's not all, there's more. So just like in your town centres, we lost our Top Man and our Top Shop due to the partial closure of the Arcadia Group. They've not been reopened, have yours? In 2009, Woolworths closed, citing the reason of the growth of the pound shop. The irony is, in Scarborough, it was replaced by a pound shop. When I did my research for this project just 2 weeks ago, this shop was open. But since then, 5 more shops, including this platform of game, has had to shut its doors. In 2021, all Thornton's chocolatiers had to shut their shops, blaming the pandemic and not being able to sell chocolate on the run-up to Christmas. This Thornton's here closed in 2018 and it was a very successful, always busy chocolate and coffee shop. Was the pandemic 2 years early in Scarborough? I don't think so. Starting behind me, there's a massive road that extends the entire length of this high street of closed, boarded up shops. But it's in good company, because there's one or two on this side as well. Check it out. Just this last week in the news, Wilko has announced it's going into administration. It's hoping for a tiny buyout, but the Scarborough store is not included in that buyout, so this store will close, leaving a massive gap on our high street. This slipped through my net when doing my research, but DW Sports has closed everywhere throughout the entire country. This is a massive retail space. Yours will have closed too. What did yours turn into? Or is it, like ours, still empty? Let me know in the comments below. This gigantic nightclub that spans over several floors was closed in 2014 due to licensing problems with the council. Many operators have wanted to take it over since, but because of a new cultural impact zone, no license will ever be granted by the council. So this huge space will always be empty. And yet, more closed shops, but in good company, because across the road, another closed kebab shop, all benefiting from the 8% reduction in council rates. We've got British Heart Foundation, we've got Oxfam, we've got Age UK, we've got Sense, and across the road we've got Scope next to a Bookies. So yet again, another closed shop, and across the road a whole block full of closed shops. And if you think we've walked miles, we haven't. We're less than half a mile from the train station. So this is the first thing that everybody will see when they come to Scarborough. In 2016, Sainsbury's acquired the Argos brand and closed all its satellite stores. The problem being that it shortened our high street, and successful retailers like the Toy Model shop just next door had to close down because the footfall stopped coming down to the Argos, and it's made a huge decline of this section of the town centre. So at the end of this road there's a sandwich shop, and we pan around a newsagent that has to close because of the decline in this area. Because of the Argos shut, everything in this area is closed. I've just spoken to some local residents and they inform me there's a good chance it might get turned into a car park and student flats. But prior to that, there was some consultation about it also becoming the site of a cinema. And because of the Hung Council, nothing ever gets sorted. And this is Shakespeare's pub. And when I came to do my research just 2 weeks ago, this was absolutely thriving. There were people singing and dancing, always been full every time I've gone past. Closed its doors. This is the Scarborough Market, and it's a sort of a success story. Back in 2012, Scarborough Council spent 2.8 million regenerating the market, and they did a really good job. The only problem is that the decline of the high street going back into the town centre means that the footfall is very quiet in the market and people aren't checking it out as often as they should. Follow me. Fresh produce, clothing, it's even got a popular cafe area, and there's an upstairs area with some unique shops in it. These shops here have all been boarded up. I can't recall them actually being open since the 1980s. That's how long they've been stood derelict. This impressive structure behind is set over 4 floors. It's got a retail space at the bottom that includes a WC, a kitchen and a large storage area. It's got its own separate entranceway here, which leads up to 3 floors that contain 5 bedrooms. Now it's got an asking price of £150,000, and you'd think that you'd be able to get some good income, but the business rates for this small part here are £6,000 a year. Now that's before you turn any lights on or employ any staff. So have a good think about it. Could you make £6,000 out of this venue? And how much would a place like this go for where you're from? Let me know in the comments below. And whilst £150,000 for a shop and 5 bedrooms with their own entranceway, it seems like a reasonable price. You've got to take that into consideration too. This shop's shut, that shop's shut, and I've already shown you in this tiny area a whole block with closed shops. Would it work? Would people come down here for that one shop? I don't think so. This is a particularly sad one. This is main prizes, and he was the highest rated fishmonger in Scarborough. It's operated for 75 years, spanning several generations of fishmongers, and closed just recently citing the increase in energy costs. Where's the help and support? I can remember coming to Scarborough and joining that cafe that's now shut and frequenting that newsagent where the newsagent in there was very helpful and always went to great lengths to find things for you. These shops have been shut now for a very long time. This is Mark's, and in 2021 he won an award for his quality fish and chips. He's now had to close because of rising energy prices. Where's the help? Hairdressers were hit the hardest during the pandemic, and on this stretch alone there were 6 closed hairdressers that couldn't survive. Another hairdressers? At least someone's making use of all these boarded up properties. One of the reasons this town is in such a mess is that we've had no overall majority in the council since 2019. Conservatives had 45% of the votes, but they're having to share a collaboration with the Labour and the Independents, who also have 45%, and you can bet one thing, they never agree on anything and they stall each other at every step of the game, and hence us locals are left with storefronts all over our town that look like this and nothing ever getting done. This is the state of our high street. This is what it looks like to come to the high street, Scarborough High Street Town Centre in 2023. It's very disappointing. So I've seen a few of these videos on YouTube and I thought Scarborough Town Centre's not that bad. I was thinking off the top of my head, I thought Debenhams have lost that, Thornton's, yeah, we've lost that, Top Man, Top Shop, sure. But we've got lots of top shops, independent traders that are open. So I came and I bought a piece of A4 paper and I thought I'll just need one piece of A4 paper. So I started writing down all the names of all the shops that were shut. Soon I had to go on to the other side, then I had to go on to the other side, and then I had to start writing sideways. 2 weeks ago I found 90 shops that were shut. Today there's 95. Another boarded up shop, but thankfully it's serving some purpose because we can learn about the circus and some other great events that are on. Another hairdressers, shut. Dip it, took a big dip, it's closed. This was a really decent cheese and wine shop. Now, it wasn't the pandemic, it wasn't the rise in heating costs, it wasn't even the rise in business rates that killed this one off. It was delusions of grandeur, because who the hell is buying cheese and wine around here? And I'll tell you for why. The clothes shop across the road was planning permission outside to turn it into a HMO, a house of multiple occupancy, where a greedy landlord will rent it out to 40-50 people. They don't give two hoots about cheese and wine. This was a really successful little restaurant cafe, and we tried to get in touch with the owner to get a statement. It's recently closed, so it's probably a combination of rising business rates and rising energy prices that have led this successful shop to shut its doors for the last time. Sheila's Buns, gone buns up. Northern Domestics, known for its cleaning appliances. Sadly, it got swept away. If you were to arrive in the Scarborough Town Centre by car, it would cost you £2 an hour to park. And believe me, as you've just seen from our video, it'll take you longer than an hour to find somewhere to shop. Now here we are at a Sainsbury's superstore. This superstore has everything in it, from food to electrical to lighting to clothing to pharmacy. It has the Argos in, which you can buy everything in, and it even has a restaurant. It also benefits from 3 hours worth of free parking. Now where are we, you may ask? Are we 5 miles out of the town centre on a retail park? No. We're 2 minutes away walking from the train station, right in the centre of the town centre. Now do not think that has hurt the retail factor of the high street in Scarborough. Back in 2013, Sainsbury's, with all their millions, spent 13 million developing this small Sainsbury's into a superstore. Now in that 10 years time, that amount of money is more than Scarborough Council could have afforded on its town centre. It's not fair, is it?